for Ferrari in the 50s and 60s, and the cars back then were beautiful, and they even sounded great, didn't they? Anyway, Ferrari went 11 years without winning a title until Niki Lauda won in 1975 in the iconic 312T. Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, though, Ferrari looked like they'd never go all the way again. Le Professeur Alain Prost came pretty close in 1990, but lost out to his bitter rival and former teammate at McLaren, Ayrton Senna. It was only when John Todt recruited a swathe of staff from outside of Italy, including Michael Schumacher, that the glory days returned 21 years after their last driver's title. The turn of the century saw the prancing horse sprint to an unprecedented 5 consecutive championship doubles. And after Schumacher left, Kimi Raikkonen reclaimed the driver's title immediately. But despite employing 1,500 people, the Iceman remains the last Ferrari world champion. So, 16 constructors' titles, 7 more than McLaren, and 15 drivers' titles, 4 more than, again, McLaren. Ferrari are truly Formula One's top team. Forza Ferrari.
Welcome to the record-breaking sports bar with me, your host Jason Cundy, joined by the Liverpool legend, Jermaine Pennant, everyone. Right, so here, it's unprecedented. Those that listen, I never do, as anyone's seen, what I anchor the show, but tonight, I'm breaking rank. Has anyone seen Liverpool? Has anyone seen the Wirral? 100% garbage. The Anfield rap. Can you the Anfield rap? You almost win a liver beating slot. Slotty. Can you be slotty? You almost win a liver beating. You'll never walk alone. You'll never walk. Jammer. You almost win a liver beating. King Kenny. Kloppy. Very crossed up. See. Eric Mercy. Yoko Ono. The Anfield calf. Alexander Isak, can you be Alexander Isak? You're meant to win it! Liver beating the Cavern Club! Yellow Submarine, can you be Yellow Submarine? Can you be? You're meant to win it! Liver beating the Titanic, LeBron James, the Ghost Goal! Can you be Ghost Goal? Can you be Ghost Goal? You're meant to win it! Liver beating!
Can we get on with the show now, mate? You finished? Yeah? Ah, dear. We're going to start with Liverpool after they were walloped by Crystal Palace at Wembley yesterday. I want to say walloped in the Community Shield. Forget Isak. Do we need defenders? 03717 223344. Liverpool fans, is this squad really strong enough to compete on all fronts this season? Get your calls in now. We'll look back on a mad weekend of Championship football. Do we need to see VAR in England's second tier? We'll be joined by European football expert Kevin Achard to give us the lowdown on Spurs' shock move for Man City's winger Savinho. Danny Mills joins us a little later on to look ahead to Leeds' return to the Premier League. Do they have enough to stay up in this league? And, of course, we've got a bit of midnight triv. We're going to need your help. Get your calls in 03717 2233 4. Get involved. We cannot do this show without you. 03717 22 3344. This is the Sports Bar on talkSPORT.
There's only one place to start, Emma. We're going to start with Liverpool. They're going to start with Liverpool were beaten, crushed by Crystal Palace on penalties yesterday. Mo Salah's penalty just landed on talkSPORT Towers on the roof. That's how bad it was. In yesterday's Community Shield, here's how it sounded live on talkSPORT.
Mateta steps up to face Alisson, right-footed, and sends it straight down the middle, and Crystal Palace equalise. And then Wharton sends Sarr away into the penalty, a heavy touch, but then he finishes it off the inside of the post, and Crystal Palace equalise. And once again at Wembley, they're glad all over. 5 of the last 8 Community Shields have been decided by penalty kicks, and this one is going the same way. Left-footed, drives the ball high into the net, and Crystal Palace celebrate. They win the Community Shield with a fantastic penalty from Justin Devenny.
Oh, hello. Good evening, one. Good evening, all. Good evening, Mr. Jammer.
Hello.
How are you, sir? Oh, no, come on. Get rid of the face. Come on, it's not my fault you got beat.
Listen.
Get rid of the face.
The face is totally fine. It's a pre-season friendly.
Oh, it's a pre-season friendly. All those Liverpool fans that rocked up, eh? Got the train down, took 6 hours to come down.
Yeah. Going
they went
out
over
the team.
Palace. Honestly, you lot.
Pre-season
Say
friendly.
well done, Palace. That's what you got to do.
Oh, no, fantastic. Well done, Palace.
Well done.
Good little pre-season friendly trophy.
Good little pre-season trot, honestly, you lot.
So, they played well. Liverpool battered them, but
Yeah, battered them 2-2 and then you lost in penalties.
we did.
What's that all about?
No, anyone can win on penalties.
Can I just say, right, yesterday,
Anyone can win on penalties.
I was at the home of the club world champions, Chelsea. We smashed AC Milan 4-1 in another pre-season victory. We've only had 2 games. And I was sat around a table with Alex Aljo, who's the brilliant presenter who's on Channel 5 and does Sky, does TNT, all that sort of shizzle. Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank, right?
Yep.
Scotty Minto.
Yep.
And everyone was like, can't wait for anyone seen to. I said, but I don't do it when I'm anchoring. No, you've got to do it. So you can blame them.
Yeah, but
It's Alex,
I
Jimmy
think
Floyd and
do you know
Scotty.
what? Do you know what? You've really... I think you've made a blunder here.
Oh, have I?
Because you could have maybe... You've done it now, so you can't really do it again.
Yeah, well,
And
it's good. I love starting with Liverpool.
and again, it's a pre-season, the Community Shield. The season's not started yet. You should have saved it if it does happen in the season.
Well, no, but the thing is, right, you were so good last season. They come across so few and far between. When they come, Jammer, you got to grab it. You got to say, you know what? Have some of that.
Whooping.
Whooping.
Could have saved it.
Whooping.
You took a whooping.
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 It's so good. It's so good. Do you know what? I want to hear from 100% Garbage, 100% Mo. Where has he been? He hasn't phoned up to congratulate me on being
We
club
had
world
key
champion.
players missing as well. Let's just...
Who's that?
We had key players missing. Let's just know.
Here we go. Look.
We did.
Look,
McAllister.
Look at this. Look.
McAllister, he came on second half. Ultimately, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League team of the year last year. Gravenberch, probably one of the best last season. The defensive midfielder, team of the year again. He wasn't playing. Virgil van Dijk apparently was ill. He wasn't.
What's he
playing
with his feet? What's wrong with him? He had brucers or do you have? What do you have?
No.
He had blisters.
He
What's he doing? Where's he running to? Hold on.
The night before he was ill.
Here we go.
So, and he had an off day. He really had an off day. But again, you get these out the way now before the season started. We're serial Community Shield winners, so we wasn't really bothered about this one. So yeah, there's nothing to worry about. Going forward, you look immense.
Worry about.
Nothing to worry about.
What about reverts? What happened to him? How much you spend on him?
Got an assist in it.
What? An assist? Then what?
TK. Goal.
When did you take a penalty?
What?
What's that?
Because you don't want
What?
the goalkeeper to know which way he's going yet. I want to say that for the Premier League.
Oh, it's okay. Yeah, good move.
Tactics.
Good move. Why didn't Salah take a penalty?
He did, but he ballooned it to the Mars.
It's so good. Liverpool, first as anyone's seen in the season, goes down to the best club, the best team we've ever seen in Premier League history, and it's great fun. Go on, what?
Wait, the last time
What?
Community Shield, right? When Liverpool and Man City played, Ireland missing goal, open goals.
Yeah.
Everyone was saying that Núñez is probably going to be the better signing. Haaland then went on and...
I don't remember that. You could be making this up.
No,
I don't remember that.
Starwith came on and scored 2 goals, and everyone was comparing him to Haaland, and then it ended up that Haaland went on and smashed the record.
Well...
Nothing, you can't take nothing from Community Shield.
So nothing at all?
Nothing.
You don't care?
Not at all.
Not at all.
Not an ounce of it.
Not even 0.5%.
Oh, it's nice. Like, oh yeah, we won. But
Yeah.
you know, if we win, we lose. I don't really.
I just honestly, it's
what I care about is Friday night when we give Bournemouth a whooping.
Oh, yeah, we could
A whooping.
Yeah,
and then go top of the league with 4 goal difference in hand.
You know, I just find it hilarious. Just that well done, Palace, by the way.
Well done, well done, Palace. Well done. Well done, Palace. Crystal Palace, well done.
Well done, them. I'd love them to phone up because they've had a great yesterday and a terrible today. Of course, they were confirmed demoted into the Europa League. Into the Conference League, out of the Europa League, which is, you know. You have to
win
suck
it.
that one up. They might win it.
They could win it now.
They might win it.
So another bit of silverware.
So how big was that yesterday? And does it really matter that Liverpool lost? Obviously, it's a pre-season. No one really cares, do they? It's one of those trophies. When you win it, it matters. When you lose it, couldn't care less. 037172233. Let's go and speak to Tyler, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Tyler, welcome to the show.
Hi, mate. How are we?
All right, Tyler.
Hello, mate.
Were you there yesterday? Were you there yesterday?
I was, mate.
Where'd you travel from?
Cheshire.
How long did it take you?
About 4 hours. Got down to...
Tyler, ignore him, mate.
No, I just asked how long it took him.
Yeah, all right.
I didn't press the
Ignore
button.
Taylor.
Is that 4 hours each way?
Yeah.
I'm only messing. Go on then, what do you want to say, bud?
I think we started too quick. You know, we were quick off the mark. I thought, if this is how the season's going to be, the front three looked electric. They just got cocky and arrogant after that.
Yeah, I think we've seen over the past 5 games in the pre-season, we've kept 1 clean sheet, and that was against Stoke City behind closed doors. We won 5-0. Since then, we haven't kept a clean sheet. So that's probably something they need to address and look at. But going forward, I'm very pleased and excited to take that into the season.
I know, yeah, it was absolutely electric going forward. I think you're right. Just got a bit rusty at the back. I mean, Frimpong looked great, but I think Kirk has as well. I'm not sure if the atmosphere got to him or what. He was always, got stuck forward. Going forward, he was great. Every now and then, he was just lacking the tracking back.
So like I said, I didn't see the game live. I watched extended highlights this morning. But one thing that did come across, and a lot of people on social media were talking about Van Dijk. And there's a couple of people just saying, OK, he's been brilliant, no question. Is this a season where he does get found out? Is there a concern or not? You're not worried?
Not worried. I think when you're at the top, everyone's looking at you. You're like a goldfish in a goldfish bowl. Everyone's always looking at Van Dijk because he's one of the best. He has to take the rough with the smooth. He has a bad game. He needs to own up to it. He's a captain of the current Premier League champions. He needs to own it. He needs to, brush it off and come back on Friday night and put in a sterling performance.
Yeah, I think he's
That's fair. That's fair.
Right. Everyone has a bad game.
Do you know what? When you come out of games like this, there's always something to take from it.
Yeah.
There's always something to say, right, what can we do better? Slot's not stupid. Slot will go into this end. Okay, were we good enough over the 90 minutes? Yeah, we had good spells, but actually, for Palace to score 2 goals, and by the way, a penalty that McAllis given. He's playing basketball in the box, Jammer.
No, come on.
What do we know?
No.
What do we know?
Jumping, it's not even looking at the ball.
Whose fault's that?
No, but that's...
Whose fault's that?
You have to use your arms to jump. It's just a bit of common sense, as in, it wasn't a handball.
It's a penalty. You got away with that.
I disagree.
You totally got away with one there.
These calls should be not penalties now.
But that's the law. The law of the game. I don't like it, but the law of the game is that's a pen.
But
should be given.
Why?
Because the law of the...
No, but what does the law say?
Because the law says... My God, his arms are in an unnatural position.
It's not. It is natural though. If you're jumping, you can't jump in the air with your hands behind your side.
Jammer, he's playing basketball in the penalty area.
No.
As soon as you start doing that, mate, you're going to give a penalty.
People need to look at that and use
listen. Don't shoot the messenger.
VAR did.
Well, VAR did. Liverpool. Let's go and speak to Neil, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Neil.
How you doing, guys? You all
right, Neil?
Good, Neil.
Welcome to the show.
Good fun as usual.
What do you want to say, bud?
I think, obviously, yesterday's game, I didn't see it live. I saw the highlights. I just think pre-season is to iron things out. If things go wrong, they go wrong, and you move on to the bigger picture, which is Friday and the rest of the season.
Yeah. I can't argue with that.
Absolutely.
I'm having some fun, but you can't.
If we see Friday night, they put in a stellar performance, everyone's going to be forgetting about the Community Shield, and we'll really see what they're made of. At Anfield, You
It's
know,
going to be an emotional.
going to be an
Anfield as
emotional
well, by the
event,
way.
and
Yeah, that needs to be considered.
that's when you really turn up.
Yeah, also, I don't think we had a good pre-season last season, and look where that went.
Yeah, look, I've played in pre-season. Jem would have done so. I played in pre-season with, you win most games and start the first season, and all of a sudden things don't go well, and vice versa. You can have really bad pre-seasons. It's all about the first game of the season. I'm having fun. No one's going to care or matter. It matters more to Palace. I agree with Jammer. Matters more to Palace, and it's well done them. It's the first time they've ever played in that game, let alone win it. So congratulations to them. But it's all about Friday night at Anfield, live on talkSPORT, by the way.
Cheers.
All right, mate. He's gone. Cheers, Neil. Keep the calls coming, gang. 03717223344. I'm a little bit worried about 100% garbage. He hasn't phoned up since Chelsea won the Club World Cup. Can we phone him? Because he's very vocal when Liverpool, when all the... Can we? We're going to phone 100% garbage, see if he answers. He always listens. 100% garbage, answer your phone, buddy. 03717223344. Hopefully we'll be speaking 100% garbage and taking all your calls on Liverpool. Have we gone a bit too early and said Liverpool already nailed on for the Premier League? I don't think it is nailed on. I think Liverpool are the best side and they're favourites to win it, understandably so. But I think the City will be stronger. Chelsea definitely stronger. Arsenal stronger. I think Liverpool favourites. But it ain't a foregone conclusion for me. What do you think? 03717223344. He's Jermaine Pennant. I'm Jason Cundy. You are listening to Sportswear on talkSPORT. With talkSPORT Bet, download the new talkSPORT betting app today. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Good evening. Thank you very much for your company. You are listening to the Sports Bar, record-breaking Sports Bar on talkSPORT. Him over there, Jermaine Pennant, me, Jason. Liverpool supporting Jermaine Pennant, and Chelsea, World Club champion, supporting Jason Cundy here, still to come. We'll be looking back at a mad weekend of the Championship live on the talkSPORT network. But first, we're taking your calls on things Liverpool. Is it too early to say that Liverpool are nailed on favourites? Nailed on, guaranteed to win the Premier League. They are favourites, and understandably so. But are they nailed on? Reds fans do need a pass on Alexander Isak and sign a centre-back this window. What do you think? 03717223344. Now, Reds gaffer on the slot spoke to talkSPORT after the game, had his say on the club's defensive frailties at the back.
We've lost Gerard Kwanzaa, and that's one thing, but unfortunately Conor Bradley, who's a right fullback, and Joe Gomez, who's a centre-back, is injured. And then Ryan Gravenberch became a dad last night, who can also play really well as a centre-back. So yeah, then all of a sudden people are like, you lack. But if Joe is fit and Ryan is back and Wata can play there and the two we started today, then we're in a good place. So I think throughout the whole pre-season, Ali needed to go to Brazil. Virgil was sick last week now. Ryan for a very nice reason for him, but we had to miss him. And then all of a sudden people are like, it looks as if you lack something, but if everybody is there, I think we have a very strong squad.
That was on a slot reflecting on the defeat yesterday in the Carabao Cup. That's coming up later in the season in the Community Shield. I just wonder, Gemma, talking there about Gravenberch playing at centre half. I remember when under Klopp, Henderson was playing at centre half, and it was not ideal. I'd be a little bit worried. Talk about putting centre midfield players at centre half at this stage before even the ball's clicked.
Yes and no. Because when he did play there, it does look comfortable in that position. Where I didn't see Anderson really comfortable. So I wouldn't mind, because we like to play out from the back. So then you've got two ball defending players who can pass their way out of trouble. That counts. That press.
Do you want your midfielders playing there? I mean, the question is Isak or another centre half. Where's
Isak? Isak all day. Because if you concede, the thing is, I don't care if we win 4-1, 3-2. If they score, we score more than you. And that's giving Isak will just give us that extra firepower. So okay, we might not keep as many clean sheets as last season, but we might concede against teams. But if we've got that massive firepower, we can outscore you.
Would you go for a centre half with Isak? Do Liverpool need to look at the back? And Arne Slot was talking about those defensive frailties there, and they were on show yesterday against Crystal Palace. Let's go to the lines. 03717223344. Oh, here he is, Clobby. Clobby's phoned up. All right, Clobster, how are you?
Hi guys.
What happened? What happened, Clobster?
Whooping.
What happened?
You're up to your what's it now? Jokes and stuff and everything. Listen, what happened?
Clobby, sorry, can't quite hear you. Sorry, is the phone in your mouth? He can't quite hear you as well.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, better.
Much better.
Yeah.
Go on, Clobby. What happened yesterday, Clobby?
What happened yesterday? I think I watched the match. Unfortunately, it was on TNT. Why it was on TNT, I have no idea, but it was. So I watched it this evening.
Is that why you lost?
No, I was about to tell you guys. If you play that again, then you won't hear me again, all right? So
what do you mean?
Stop it, all right?
What do you mean?
Let me just explain to you what I think is a little bit of a worry for the rest of the Premier League.
Right, go on.
First of all, I think a lot of what happened yesterday was partly to do with the fact of losing three strikers.
Right. What do you mean, three strikers?
Three strikers. Obviously, Jota, which was badly missed.
Yep.
And obviously, Nunes and Diaz. And between the three of them, they scored 150 goals. Also, the fact that Wirtz, I watched him, and he was running into all positions and everything. And every time we had a breakaway, we didn't pass the ball to him.
You scored 2 goals, Clobby.
Yeah, but we should have scored more.
I know, but you scored 2 goals. The problem wasn't not scoring. The problem was at the back.
Oh, yeah, the back was, I think, again, a lot of that was to do with the fact that we're not quite as fit as the other teams. Crystal Palace has,
why not?
I would say, 2 or 3 games more than us.
Why aren't you fit enough?
No, I think that a lot of the strain has been a mental strain. That I think finally.
I think he's gone.
Oh, yeah, he's there. Clubby.
Still there?
He's
I'm
there.
here. I'm here.
He's there.
I'm here.
Sorry, go on, Clubby. What was you going to say?
I think there's been a very emotional time, as you know, and I think maybe that is still on the players' minds. For example, Salah, I've never seen him miss 2 penalties on the trot and miss them like as if he was playing rugby. This does seem to be still an emotional situation with the loss of Jota. And, of course, losing Diaz and losing Nunes. So remember, these guys have been not just players, but they've been friends. They've been close.
Yeah, but you sold 2 of those, Clubby. That was a calculated decision, right?
Yeah. But if you listen to Slot, he didn't want to sell Diaz. He definitely did not want to sell him. But he had, I think it's just one of those things at the moment that the team, the players, the club, the fans, we're still emotional about the loss of Jota. I mean, you can't just get over that. I mean, I lost my Jenny 2.5 years ago, and I'm still thinking of her.
Yeah,
so
sorry about that,
you don't think about these things, and then you just forget about it. And I think yesterday it may have caught up with the players. That's why Van Dijk afterwards was very emotional about the fact that we need strikers. He straight away came out. Well, it was almost like if he was missing.
Is right. It's right. If you lose any team to lose 3 strikers who can be starters as well, not just backup like that. The 3 that are gone are starters. Yeah. If you lose 3 key players like that, you're going to feel it, especially going forward late on the game to bring on substitutes on. So as a club like Liverpool, they are not going to sit back and just let that situation settle and be. There will be people coming in, and there will be probably a defender coming in as well. So don't worry. There's no time to be worried.
No worry. That's what I'm saying. There is no worry on my behalf. I'm not worried one iota. I think we have a mental strength that is far more better than any other teams. That's why I feel that we can still retain the title. I think the other teams have very talented sides, but they don't have that mentality that Liverpool have always had.
You won 2 Premier Leagues? What do you mean always had? You won 2 Premier Leagues, Robbie.
But what I'm saying is we've always had mentality, that mental sort of strength that we've always had, never giving in, scoring last-minute goals and everything. We've scored more last-minute goals than any other team in the last 10 years. So we know that we can do that. The only difference is that many of those players that we've lost, particularly like Jota or Nunes, have scored in the last minute, as you know. So, we're still in that emotional situation. We still haven't, losing Jota was an absolute bombshell.
Of course, it was for everyone. I mean, I had to do a show that night. It was, ripped the heart out of English football. I totally get that.
More for Liverpool, with all due respect, more to Liverpool and the Liverpool family, and obviously Jota's family as well.
Of course,
he was such a key player to Liverpool in the last 4 or 5 years. So to lose him like that, we're still thinking of him. I mean, I text all my friends and we're still wondering, what happened. Okay, he's not going to be here on Friday. And then we're going to have another emotional evening, which, it would not surprise me if the players get really emotional on Friday, because that's when it's going to hit everybody, because it'll be Anfield.
First game of the season, of course, but I think they'll be done.
Yeah, it's going to be emotional. There is absolutely no doubt about that, and it will be the first time the Liverpool fans... I know there's been pre-season friendlies. There was a couple the other day. I get all of that, but no question, it's going to be a very emotional night at Anfield on Friday opening. The champions take on Bournemouth, as we said there, live here on talkSPORT, 8 o'clock kickoff, and the Sports Bowl weekend. And we're taking your calls as soon as that final whistle is blown. We continue taking your calls on Liverpool 03717 223344. No Crystal Palace fans. I want to hear from Palace fans, because you've had an amazing last 3 months. You won the FA Cup for the first time in your history. You've just won the Community Shield, obviously the first time in your history as well. Yet today you were demoted into the Conference League, or confirmed from the Europa League at the Conference. It's a competition I think you can win. I'd love to hear from you guys as well. Congratulations on yesterday as well. 03717223344. Jermaine Pennant, I'm Jason Cundy. This is the Sports Bar live here on talkSPORT. Download the new talkSPORT Betting app today. 18 plus, BigGambleAware.org. Good evening on the first sports bar of the week, and we are the week building up to the Premier League. The big dogs are back. We've seen League One, League Two a couple of weeks ago. The Championship returned on what was an amazing weekend for them. Some brilliant games. Bristol City, by the way, away against Sheffield United. Love to hear from Sheffield United fans. What on earth was that? First game of the season. Bristol City looked absolutely class. 03717223344, and of course we end up with Liverpool taking on Bournemouth, the first Premier League game of the season, live on talkSPORT here. 8 o'clock kickoff on Friday, and then game day returns with every single match. We've got you covered. Adrian Durham, of course, with game day live, and then the phone in. Myself and Jamie Hurrell will be taking your calls after all of the action still to come. We're looking back on that mad week in the Championship, but first we're taking your calls on things Liverpool. Is it too early to say Liverpool are nailed on favourites? They're favourites, but are they serious number one by some distance favourites? 03717 223344. Who we got? We got one of the Mo's. We got one of the Mo's. Here he is, Moaning Mo, to drag the show down. Moaning Mo, Hello, sir. Happy Monday to you.
You're all right, mate.
You all right? What happened yesterday, Mo? What happened?
It was just a community shield, mate. I don't know. I don't think you've ever actually created a bigger show about such a useless trophy. Nobody cares. And you haven't talked about how good we actually played. I thought we were very, very unlucky to lose.
Conceded 2 goals. Should have had a penalty against you. Got lucky.
That wasn't a penalty.
Got
that was
lucky.
Accidental. That was accidental, but who cares? We were by far the better team, and we're by far the best team in the country. You know, nobody cares about the Community Shield. I'm happy we lost.
You're happy you lost. You like losing, do you?
No, I'm just happy we lost.
No, but you just said you're happy you lost. That means you like losing.
No, because for me, it's better if we lose and you make fun of us, and then we just end up winning the league again. I think you're a very, very jealous man, and you ought to admit that we're by far the best team in the country.
You were last season.
Make a discussion out of it.
Yeah. Well, you're the best team in the country. Chelsea, the best club in the world.
What?
We're the best club in the world.
How do you work that one out?
Well, we've got a trophy to show it. I mean, I don't know whether you saw us win the... you have not said well done yet, Mo, either. I'm very disappointed, mate. Very disappointed.
I couldn't be bothered to watch the Club World Cup, to be honest.
Just a little well done, Chelsea
You
fans.
only got invited because you won the Champions League about
Why weren't you in it?
5 years ago.
Why weren't you in it?
Because we didn't win the Champions League.
Whose fault's that?
75 years ago.
Whose fault's that?
Mo, what's your thoughts on the game?
I thought we were unbelievable. I thought we were very, very good. We just got a bit unlucky.
I think Virgil, though, we're going to pinpoint out, Virgil had a very bad day.
The caravan was back.
I think Kirkes is absolutely... He was bad, but I wouldn't blame Virgil.
No. What was he doing, though? What was he doing for the goal?
What do you mean? The goal is a common mistake.
Common mistake?
I hope it don't happen
Well, the
regularly.
common mistake happens. It happens. It wasn't that big of a mistake. You're just bigging up because it's Virgil.
What was he doing, though?
If it wasn't Virgil... It's a normal mistake.
What, to step
it
out?
wasn't that bad of a mistake.
Just to step out?
He just got caught out. I don't think it was that bad of a mistake.
But then he got the penalty as well. The silly decision in the box.
What's he doing there? What's he doing there?
If it was a Premier League game, he wouldn't do that. It's just because...
Oh, of course he would.
He's very relaxed.
It was like Michael Flatley in the box there, trying to tackle.
Only community... Next week, this week will be better. He'll be better. I think we'll win the first 5-10 games.
5-10 games?
5-10 games. I think
That's
very
Newcastle,
easy.
Arsenal.
I'm not worried, mate. We'll get Isaac. I'm not worried. We don't even
You
need
sound a
Isaac.
bit worried, mate.
Do I?
Yeah, you
Look
do.
how relaxed I sound.
No, I don't.
I'm slightly worried that we haven't kept a clean sheet. But that's pre-season. Who cares? Let's see how it happens in the...
Nobody cares about pre-season. No, that's the
No,
thing.
of course not.
Anyway, calm down. Nobody cares. We'll just relax.
No. Well, look, as far as Chelsea is concerned, Club World Cup champions, it's we're going into with high hopes and our tails are up.
Nobody cares about that story. But congrats.
No, go on, you better say it. Go on.
Go on, congrats,
No.
mate.
Congrats, what?
Congrats, mate. You won the club. What's it called again? The club something.
Yeah, the club something. Mo, look forward to speaking to you again, Mo. Cheer up, for God's sakes. You won the title last season.
All right, mate.
All right, there he is. Moaning Mo. Brings the show down, always brings the show down. We're still trying to look for 100% garbage. We found him.
He's in hiding.
Is he?
You don't want...
He's gone into hiding.
you
Do
don't
you know
want
he's
the
listening
smoke.
to this? He is.
Doesn't want it.
He doesn't want it.
He doesn't want it.
Let's go and speak to Mike, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Mike, welcome to the show.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
How we doing?
What do you want to say, Mikey?
Yeah, 2 points if I can, really. First one on Liverpool, I'm a little bit concerned, I'll be honest. With the players that we've lost up top, we got Ekatike in, scored a goal early doors, but realistically, his conversion rate last season was worse than Darwin Núñez, and he's playing in the German league, so that does concern me a little bit. If they get rid of Núñez, are they guaranteed they get an Isak? I don't know. The way it's looking now, I'm not sure. Left side, Diaz has left. Is that another Mane situation? Is he not getting on with someone? What's the deal there? You've got Rio coming through. He looks all right, and Virgil's slowing down, lads. He looks slow.
Yeah, well, listen, losing, like I said, touched on at the start of the show, losing those players in any one squad, you're gonna feel it. And again, I don't think Slot and the club are that silly to see such a big gap in quality players and not fill that void. They're going to need another number 9 or attacking former player, and definitely they're going to need a defender because of the defensive frailties and injuries that we've got at the moment. So before the not before the season starts, but before this window closes, we will see at least 2 more incomings.
Yeah, I agree, but I think we've done most of our business early, so I think we need to make a move quickly. I think the exact situation obviously depends on what Newcastle do and if they can get someone in. I know Nicholas Jackson's the talk, but I don't know 100% that's going to happen, and it's a lot of money. And then centre-back Mark Gahey, that would obviously improve us, but I worry Frimpong, Kirkes, they're a bit attacking on the left and right sides. Gravenberch was missed, obviously, yesterday, so let's see how it goes. My other point, though, I think people are sleeping on them a little bit, particularly in the betting market. And I hate to say this because Jason's probably going to love it, but Chelsea. I mean, Chelsea look very tasty. No one did to PSG what Chelsea did to PSG.
No, listen, we're a good side. We will cause teams a lot of problems this season, and I just don't quite know how good we can be. We are a very young side still, and there'll be inconsistencies. I was at the game yesterday against AC Milan, and the scoreline kind of flattered us a little bit. I'll tell you why. They went down to 10 men, and the referee, right? It was a challenge on João Pedro. I don't think the ref need to send him off. I don't think it helped AC Milan. Didn't help Chelsea.
Friendly. Why are you sending?
Jammer. I said this in commentary.
A disgusting challenge.
It was wrestling to the ground. Do you know what? It might be a red. It might be a yellow. Just give him a yellow in pre-season.
Yeah.
It helped no one. The game actually died a little bit after that because AC Milan then went 4-4-1. Exactly that. It helped no one.
Ridiculous.
But in the end, Chelsea ran out comfortable winners. But I will say on this, Chelsea actually gave up 1 or 2 chances, which I was a little bit disappointed in. And against a better team, we might get punished. But there were moments in that game where AC Milan, when they were down 10, they scored with 10 men, by the way. There's just something there to keep an eye on defensively. Going forward, we're good. We are really good. And we will cause teams a lot. We'll give teams a lot. We'll give bloody noses and we'll cause some of the big teams problems. But defensively, I'm not quite sure yet. We are that.
I think that's your
team.
Problem, isn't it? It's the 2 centre backs and the keeper. But the keeper did win Golden Glove or whatever it was at the World Club Championship. But he is a bit suspect. The Colwell injury obviously is not good for Chelsea or England coming up. No. So do you know what I mean? I think that's maybe the weakness. But honestly, 10-1 or whatever they are with the bookies at the moment, that's way too big. That is way.
I would like to think. Thanks for. I think Chelsea have to make a challenge. We've got to make a challenge. I think that the where we are right now, how far we've come, I don't know whether we've got enough steel about us and we've got enough experience. I don't know whether we're that team yet, but I want to make a challenge. Last season's challenge was up until Boxing Day, and then we just flitted away.
10 games, wasn't it?
Flitted away.
After 10 games.
Flitted away after Boxing Day. We could have gone top. We beaten Everton.
Yeah.
Right? I know Liverpool had a game in there, but still, that makes a statement. And it was, we were a little bit meh after that. Let's go and speak to Marwin, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Marwin?
Hello, guys.
How
are you?
You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Were you there yesterday, Marwin?
Yeah, I was there yesterday, and everything was perfect. It was brilliant. Great game, first half especially. But what I want to say is I don't think we need another striker. We've got Chiesa. I think he can be a world-class player if the manager give him a chance. He's a top player, and apparently I was reading a few hours ago that the club will keep him. I think they will keep him if they can get Isaac over the line at the end. And the second thing, I think we need the number 6. I know Gravenberch he was brilliant last season, but only Gravenberch is not enough. I think we need another number 6 because I'm watching all the highlights of the other teams, Arsenal, Chelsea, City, even United. People are underestimating them. I think I'm not saying Chelsea will make trouble for many teams. So I think we need to have more invest in the team, and hopefully, I think we could go all the way for the top of the gate if we get another number 6 and the centre back. That's what we need. That's what I think about.
Yeah, no, I think every team would love another centre back and number 6. Number 6, in this game at the moment is a vital position. If you've got a top good number 6, you're in a good place.
There's Belieber. Why don't we go for him?
Who?
He's good, believer. The boy.
No, yeah, I think he's be priced out. I think he'll be too expensive. You're looking in your 80 million bracket. Yeah, so I do think we need another attacker. I do, because in case one gets injured, we're going to be fell short. We've just lost 3 strikers, or 3 attacking players. Yeah. So we're going to need at least another one. And I think Mark Gay would be a perfect suitor as well in defence, because Palace came out and basically said that we cannot at any cost let him go on a free. So they probably will need to be selling him. You can get him at a cut price because you've got him. So,
there's Mark Gay, and there's as well Giovanni Leone. He is one of the biggest prospects in Italian football. So he could be a good backup if Konate will leave next summer for free.
Liverpool won't leave themselves short. They will be in the market. There's going to be more dealings before this transfer window closes. Mark my words.
And one more thing before I leave.
Go on, Marvin.
You, Jason, you obviously support Chelsea. I'm a Liverpool supporter for many years. I'm originally from Tunisia. The team I support, Espérance Sportive of Tunis, played against Chelsea in the Clubs World Cup. And to be honest, I didn't expect you to win it, but it was amazing to watch the Clubs World Cup. I think people are underestimating right now. It's going to be a brilliant tournament, and yeah, it was really good to watch. And no one expected Chelsea to do so well. And I was happy with my team. We lost 3-0 against. Obviously, it's 20 million euros against £1 billion teams. This is. Simply.
Chelsea had the easy side of the draw. They was lucky.
Yeah.
They were lucky.
Then we whooped PSG.
Yeah, lucky, but they have a good team. Yeah. I'm worried about them as well.
What happened? Did you play against PSG?
Oh, Liverpool. Yeah. Like beat them up in the second leg. Yeah. Just went to penalties.
What happened?
I don't know. Liverpool ain't got a good record on penalties in a minute.
What's going on, mate? What's going on with the pens?
Don't
blame Chelsea for you missing pens. I can't believe you're trying to blame Chelsea for Salah skying one out of Wembley. End up at Anfield, apparently.
I think he's got a lot on his mind, Salah, at the moment. He's just waiting for Friday.
Is he? Well, look, Friday's where it's at, let's be honest.
Exactly.
I'm having some fun, but yes, Friday's where it's at. But I want to hear from Palace fans. Where are you? Right? You've just won the Community Shield, the FA Cup. You've never won a major honour in your history. I know you've won the, Championship and League, that, but that doesn't count. Major honour. You won the FA Cup, now you won the Community Shield. You've beaten Man City and you've beaten Liverpool. That is some going, by the way. And you play my mob next Sunday. What can we expect at Stamford Bridge from Crystal Palace? 03717223344. He's Jermaine Pennant and Jason Cundy. And you are listening to The Sports Bar. Thanks for your company live here on talkSPORT. With talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT betting app today. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. Good evening, thanks for your company. I listen to Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. Jermaine, Pennant and Jason Ellis still to come. We'll be looking back at the mad weekend of Championship football live on the talkSPORT network. But first, the NFL returns to Wembley in October as the Los Angeles Rams take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the competition to win VIP tickets is open now. That's right, we're giving you the chance to win 6 seats in a private box at Wembley Stadium with full hospitality, by the way, plus $5,000 spendings in the back pocket. Here's how you enter: 18 plus, UK excluding Northern Ireland, for your chance to win. Text word CASH, CASH, to 83338 and you're in the draw. Text will cost you £2 plus one standard network rate message. You have the bill player's permission, please, or you can enter for free by calling 0330 880 333. I'll say that again, so you can call 0330 880 333. All entries must be received by the 25th of August at 11 p.m. This is a talkSPORT limited promotion run on talkSPORT, Talk and Virgin UK radio station. Full T's and C's at the website talksport.com. Going to continue taking your calls on all things Liverpool. Is it too early to say Liverpool was a favourite? Well, they are favourites, aren't they? But yesterday showed that teams like Palace can give them a bloody nose and come away with something. 03717223344. Alexander Isak, the talk is still about him, but do Liverpool need to strengthen in other areas, maybe at the back, or as a previous caller said, defensive midfielder? Let's go and speak to Simon, who's an Evertonian. All right, Si, welcome to the show.
How are you, mate?
All right, Si. Did you go to the? What's the new stadium called? The Hill Dickinson.
Hill Dickinson Stadium. Yeah, I was there last Saturday.
What's it like?
It's amazing, mate. Honestly, it's just amazing. I can't believe it's ours. If I'm being really honest with you. But if there's one thing I would definitely say, and I'm sure plans are in place, they need to put a bit of a stamp. Just bear with me, Jay. I'm just pulling over.
Go on, matey. Just drive carefully. Make sure you do.
I'm just on my way to work, that's all.
Yeah.
I've just pulled over now,
You just
mate.
pulled off, have you?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
And what I'd say about the stadium is it needs a bit more Everton badges on it. Like Goodison, you could see was EFC, Everton written on it. The seats. Right. Something like that. But as a stadium, honestly, it's great. And and one thing as well, everyone's going, oh yeah, but the roar and the atmosphere at Goodison Park, you'll be able to replicate that. Listen, the fans tried their best to do that. I know it was only a friendly, but I'm not worried about that one bit, honestly.
Do you know what? Just stay there, Si. Jammo, say to Si what you said on Saturday about teams going there.
I said, well, because it's a brand new stadium, it's basically just as new it is to you guys, it will be to the away team. So the advantage, it's going to take a while for it to feel like you're home. It'll be like both teams playing at Wembley.
Jermaine, I'll go with that. And I'll tell you why.
For the while. So you're going to lose that, until everybody gets used to the surroundings, and then it's like home. But
no, Jermaine, honestly, you bang on the button there, and I'll tell you why. It's me and my wife were seeing ticket holders. We spoke before, Cundy, actually. When we beat Liverpool 2-0, every day you were in Haaaaas.
Yeah.
Like that, and you kept saying, "Oh, you're going to have a good night tonight." Yeah. Right. Well, she made a really good point, and she said it doesn't feel like our home yet because we have such a routine going to Goodison, meeting up with our pals and make the people we've made friends that we sit by, like that. And so everything's you are right, Jermaine, and everything was like that. But luckily enough, we bumped into all our old mates outside the stadium and inside the stadium. Nice. So I totally understand where you're coming from there. It's going to come time, but listen, it's one of those. If Everton put a good performance in, there's a good goal scored, there you go, everything's back to normal. Yeah. But yeah, I do agree with you there. 100%. But You know, it really is. It's something special, and it's nice to watch a game without a post sat in front of you. I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be so surprised the first home game. You know, somebody will take a prop and they'll just go out. You know, I miss Goodison how much I had to take.
You need a bit of wood in front of you. Yeah, I tell you what, you may or may not know this. The press box there, it's so tight. It's so tight at Goodison. It was unbelievable. I don't know what the press box. I'm guessing it's.
You know what? I've seen it, Cundy, I've seen it. Because where we sit opposite the main stand. And we went to the first test event, we were looking at these things. You're literally in the back row of the stands at the river. So that's the west stands.
Right.
And you've got the whole row. And I'm sure that's it, because it's such a particular style of seating, isn't it? But it's to me, I'm like that. Great, give that the press, give the fans the better, the better seats.
Yeah, well,
you know, that's just me being a passionate blue. You know.
Go on. And what else you want to say?
Right, listen. This is a big debate. I've been saying this for years, but Virgil van Dijk, and it's not his own fault. It's down to the Sky pundits. Is the most overrated centre half that I can think of in years, And I'll tell you what, I want fans to come on and talk about this to prove me wrong, but I'll tell you why. There's a class player there, and I'll tell you now, I definitely have him in my starting 11. I would, right? But you can't put him on a par with the likes of Maldini, Brunesi, Ramos, closer to home, John Terry, Ferdinand, Vidic.
Oh,
right?
come on.
I'll tell you why.
He's right.
No, he's not right.
It's because they gave 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10, every week.
What? I've seen Fernando Torres bully them both every time he played against.
So inconsistent. He's like Mario Balotelli's a forward. This guy had so much talent, but which one was going to turn up? Do you know what I mean?
I tell you what I will agree with you on, right, is how many the people talk about Van Dijk is the greatest defender this country's ever seen. Rubbish. It's rubbish.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry.
Why is it rubbish?
Because he is a very, very good, excellent centre-back. He ain't John Terry and he ain't Rio.
What do you mean he's not? I know he's better.
He ain't Vidic.
So you're telling me, you ask any attacker, who would you rather go up against? One-on-one, John Terry or Virgil van Dijk? They're going...
Van Dijk.
They're going to say JT all day long.
No, I'm not having it, mate. I'm not having it. I've said this before. What you've said, Simon, I've been saying for years, and I got slaughtered for it.
So you should get slaughtered.
I got slaughtered for it.
Absolutely rubbish debate.
That game yesterday proved it.
One game out of 10 seasons or 8 seasons at Liverpool. Have you lot both having a laugh?
He'd already won it.
One game. He had an off day. You're telling me John Terry or Rio Ferdinand's been amazing every time they step on a football pitch?
I'll guarantee you now, I bet you, when Liverpool go away to Arsenal, they'll lose. When they go away to Chelsea, they'll lose.
But probably, but that's not, there's 38 games in a season.
Man United, they'll turn up for that, but when it comes to Hill Dickinson Stadium against the Manchester...
But listen, before you go, listen, I've got to get your thoughts quickly on Grealish.
I've made it up, over the moon.
Good signing.
And you know what? You know why I'm over the moon?
Go on.
Is that lad needs an arm round him.
He does.
Right, get his confidence back up, and there's no better club than Everton to do that.
So listen...
And I'll tell you, yeah...
God's sakes. Jesus. Can't say that. 0371722. He's going to have some fun, though, I would have thought. We dumped that, didn't we?
In time.
We dumped that out anyway. Yeah. This is the Sports Bar Live here on talkSPORT. He's Jermaine Pennant. I'm Jason Cundy.
Hamilton, now at Ferrari, dares to dream of a record 8th F1 world title. The Tifosi will be hoping the Brits can bring glory back to Italy. To many, Ferrari and Formula One are inseparable. They're the only team in the sport today to have competed in the first World Championship in 1950, are the most successful team in history, and have built some absolutely gorgeous cars. Their first driver's title was won in 1952 by Alberto Ascari. Considered one of F1's most dominant and best-loved champions, he drove the iconic Ferrari 500 and defended his title the year after. It was Juan Manuel Fangio in his Ferrari 250 who secured the team's next driver's title in 1956. Remember, he was world champion 5 times with 4 different teams. Mike Hawthorne, Phil Hill and John Surtees also won titles for Ferrari in the 50s and 60s, and the cars back then were beautiful, and they even sounded great, didn't they? Anyway, Ferrari went 11 years without winning a title until Niki Lauda won in 1975 in the iconic 312T. Throughout much of the 80s and 90s, though, Ferrari looked like they'd never go all the way again. Le Professeur Alain Prost came pretty close in 1990, but lost out to his bitter rival and former teammate at McLaren, Ayrton Senna. It was only when John Todt recruited a swathe of staff from outside of Italy, including Michael Schumacher, that the glory days returned 21 years after their last driver's title. The turn of the century saw the prancing horse sprint to an unprecedented 5 consecutive championship doubles. And after Schumacher left, Kimi Raikkonen reclaimed the driver's title immediately. But despite employing 1,500 people, the Iceman remains the last Ferrari world champion. So, 16 constructors' titles, 7 more than McLaren, and 15 drivers' titles, 4 more than, again, McLaren. Ferrari are truly Formula One's top team. Forza Ferrari.
Good evening, thanks for your company. You're listening to the Record Breaking Sports Bar here. Me, Jason, going alongside Jermaine Pennant until 1 a.m. and Mr. Paul Ross picks up the bat and takes you lucky bit live. Until 5 still to come, we'll be joined by talkSPORT's EFL commentator Jeff Peters, where we recap on a mad weekend in the Championship. Yes, that competition, that league is outstanding for drama, and it did not disappoint in the first weekend. First, though, Liverpool fans, give us a call. Has yesterday's defeat concerned you at all? Is it too early to say Liverpool are nailed on favourites to win the Premier League back to back? And Palace fans, want to hear from you. I know you've had a bad day being demoted into the Conference League, but yesterday surely was brilliant. By the way, Glasner has equalled Mikel Arteta's legacy at Arsenal in just a matter of months. 03717 22 33 44. That's a gooner now to write that. I've got my gooner as a producer, and the tech op is a gooner as well, right? And it must hurt. Is it hurt? Yeah.
Trust the process, they say, Cundy. Trust the process.
Honestly, football's back, isn't it? Honestly. Has anyone seen getting stuck in it? Liverpool get stuck in the jam. I get stuck in all the Liverpool fans. It's going to continue.
Trust the process.
Trust the process, as they say. Let's go to the lines. Who do you want to speak to? Let's go. I tell you what. Let's go and speak with Palace fan Krishna has dialed 03717 22 33 Krishna, good evening. Congratulations on yesterday.
Cheers, lads. Yeah, just still buzzing off the last few months. You know, I think it's been an amazing roller coaster. You know, last decade. You know, the highs and lows. But I think the main man at the moment has got to be Oliver Glasner. I think without him, at the helm, none of this would have been possible. And my biggest concern now is just the lack of transfer, movement. Is he going to get fed up and leave at the end of this year? So that's, for me, it's paramount that we get some signings in, and he believes in what we're doing, you know?
Do you know what, right? Sorry, Jem. I was listening to Drive on the way in with Durham and Benty. And Benty made the point that actually keeping hold of Glasner might be a bit tricky because there's going to be clubs that go through a sticky start, and after about 10, 15 games, just before Christmas, if there is a club that pulls the trigger, he'll be on someone's radar.
Oh, he's going to be on radars. Without a shadow of a doubt. What he's doing with Palace is fantastic. And I can understand why you're going to be frustrated if you're a Palace fan, Ryan, as in, you're in a great place at the moment. You've had a great few months last season winning something. This season, you got off to a good start. And this is where the transfer window is open. This is where you want to start adding additions to make you better, not be stagnant, not be the old Crystal Palace mid-table team trying to push on now. You'll be able to get good plays in the door because they're making a name for themselves, and not getting good transfers in. You may lose Mark Gay as well. Not getting big plays in, you may start finding yourself slipping because everyone else is getting better and better. Yeah.
So
I can sense a little bit of the frustration.
Yeah.
But at the moment, they're riding the wave. They're riding this wave.
And also, you're in the I know it's a disappointment at Crystal being in the Conference League. But
is it a disappointment at Cundy? They've not been in Europe. When the last time was in Crystal Palace in Europe?
Yeah, well, never.
Well, there you go.
Never.
So how is it disappointment?
Not via winning anything major.
Well, they can't be disappointed. Either way, they're still in Europe. Chelsea was in it, they've won it. They're still in Europe. They still have a major European trophy to be won if they do win it.
And they'll be one of the favourites. I mean, it's not going to be, there are some bad teams in there, I'll tell you that.
Might play Karabag.
Yeah, there's some terrible teams in that, by the way. But there's also some half-decent teams as well. But Palace will go into it as one of the favourites. The interesting thing is Mark Gahey, right? A number of teams, Newcastle last season put in a bid, it didn't turn their head.
70 million.
Yeah, and they've turned that down. Well, actually, I suppose in some ways Palace can argue it was a good decision because they won the FA Cup.
Yeah.
Right? So that decision not to sell him then, they will be faced now. I'm guessing there will be teams looking and they're vulnerable, but they might say, do you know what? We're in the Conference League. If he walks on a free and we win the Conference League, he's back-to-back won trophies.
Parish wouldn't. It came out and said cannot happen.
It can't happen.
A player like Gay cannot leave this club on a free.
Well, then we've got days left, right? What is it? We're talking days in the transfer, 20 days in the transfer window, right? Well, unless someone makes the bid that they're prepared to accept, they might just have to suck it up, Jammer.
Yeah, well, I think they will get the bid. I think 40 mil.
You think so? Think that gets him out of that contract? Well, there'll be a number of teams looking. Yeah. Christian, thanks very much for the call. Let's go and speak to Fred, who's a Liverpool fan. All right, Fred?
Hello there, it's Fred from Hartlepool.
All right, Fred from Hartlepool.
I always take singles, doubles, trebles and a fourfold for Liverpool to win Premier League 7-4, Champions League 6-1, FA Cup 4-1, EFL Cup 5-1.
Right.
And the other season, they won the League Cup, FA Cup, and they were in the second to Man City, and then they were in the final, and they offered me over $5,000, so I took it. I cashed out.
Cashed out?
I took my wife on a cruise, and she said, well, you didn't pay for that cruise. I said, well, did you? She said, no. She said, Liverpool did.
Yeah. So have you done it again?
Yeah, I do it every season. Normally to win about 60-odd thousand.
Can you stop? That might be the reason why we don't win the quadruple.
No,
should I leave that, mate? Just have a year off. How about that?
You know why they need another striker? They're thinking Mo Salah's due to retire because he's good. But
to retire? Retire?
Yeah. Well,
he's 32.
He might go to Saudi and retire with all the money over there.
Yeah, retire for another 5 years.
No, but he's shown that that's not how he's made.
No, he's a good player.
Yeah, he's not. That
can't believe he just good enough Salah.
You can't retire him off.
Better
retire him
and call him good.
No, they're thinking Isaac because eventually, like the goalkeeper, we got a young goalkeeper and he's really good.
Mm-hmm.
And you're looking at when Alisson does go, you're looking at they're building up for the future. They're looking in all positions, future, and getting a young lad from Chelsea
and he's really good. And I was surprised Chelsea let him go, But, Chelsea done so well in the World Cup, and I was over the moon to win it. And even
What?
Are you a Liverpool fan?
What? What do you mean? You have a bet on that and all?
No, I didn't have a bet on it. I didn't even watch it. But what it is...
But why are you over the moon? You're not over the moon.
Yeah, because
Fred,
the English...
you're not.
Fred, the English...
Fred.
The English...
No, Fred,
they're playing all these foreign teams. All the English teams are UK. You want them to win above all.
I wanted Chelsea to get whooped by PSG. I wanted to see a whooping.
I didn't.
I want Spurs tomorrow to get a whooping.
Crystal Palace. I follow Hartlepool as well.
Whooping.
They put all 3 coaches on for all the Hartlepool people, who went to the match. And Palace was so nice to Hartlepool fans. We just loved the Palace fans. They deserve everything. They're really nice people.
Who was you supporting in the Community Shield? Liverpool or Palace?
Well, I support Liverpool. Full stop.
Was you upset that they lost?
I was over the moon like Newcastle as well, because I thought when they won the cup match...
How many teams you support,
even though I follow Liverpool,
Fred.
I was happy to see Newcastle. When I was a kid, my uncle took me to see when Malcolm McDonald played Newcastle. And I had him in my taxi twice. He'd come down to Hartlepool for a charity night. I brought him down and took him back. And I've met some lovely people. And not even though you're Liverpool through and through, you're all an Hartlepool, you still like to see good football, all the good teams coming up and beating each other and shaking hands and saying, well done, the best team won on the day.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm type of person.
Well, I can tell. You sound like a lovely fella, Fred.
Sound like a top bloke, Fred.
You do. You sound like a lovely fella.
And I hope you'll be able to go on another cruise as well with your wife, Fred.
Well, as long as she acknowledges I paid for it.
Yeah, I think. How old are you, Fred? Do you mind me asking?
71.
You're 71.
Oh,
yeah.
I just. It's lovely to hear. I mean, I can't get into bed with Fred about that. I can't.
You can't what?
Well, I can't
get into bed with Fred.
I can't get into bed with Fred on that. Well, I'm the one of these football fans. No, but I can't get on side with Fred. Fred seems like a lovely fella. He wants other teams to do well.
You can't get in bed with him.
I want other teams to suffer.
Oh, yeah.
It's good, isn't it?
Oh, I love it.
I even felt sorry for Man U a few seasons ago when I was struggling.
Oh,
and I felt for them because since Alex Ferguson went, he knew the team wasn't as good as it should have been. When Klopp went, Hassan, he really took over from a good side. But when Man U struggled after when Alex went, because he knew the team wasn't
good. You feel sorry for Man United fans?
Fred, can I tell you a secret, Fred?
No, Fred, come on.
I'm over the moon of where Man United are. Absolutely.
No, I like to see him up in the top.
I like to see him down there, upset.
Because you like to see all the teams good. Do you know when Arsenal won the Premier at West Ham? Do you remember who was in front? Man U. And Arsene Wenger, he had 5 games in hand. I got 8-1, 12, 10, 12, all each way.
Oh, Fred, you're kidding me. Fred's only interested in the Reddies.
20, 25, and it's £20 straight away.
Oh, Fred, you're killing me. Fred don't care.
Fred don't care if your team gets whooped.
You got $5,000 off that. Yeah. Fred's cruising. Fred, thanks, guys. Fred's cruising around the world. All he wants is to win money. That's why.
That's why he likes Man United. That's why he likes.
They won him $5,000.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we don't encourage betting here, right? But Fred clearly knows what he did. He's had 2 cruises there. He's won $10,000 off 2 bets there, Fred.
Fingers and pies all over the place.
Indeed. Thanks for the call, Fred. We're going to continue taking calls. Yeah, why not? Phone up. We'll get you on 03717223334. Next up, though, we're going to be talking a little bit of EFL. We're talkSPORT's EFL. Commentator Jeff Peters look back on a crazy week in the Championship. We are listening to Sports Bar here on talkSPORT. E2M Pennant. I'm Jason Cundy. This is a Sports Bar. listening to the record-breaking sports. We're here on talkSPORT. Jason Cundy alongside Jermaine Pennant still to come. We'll be joined by European football expert Kevin Atchard to run us through some of the latest transfer news. But first, though, the Championship is finally back. What a weekend it was. Live here on the talkSPORT network.
And it's on the underside of the bar. Southampton have won it right at the end through Jack Stevens. This is what the Championship can give you. Drama at the very end.
Tucked away by Isaac Price. West Bromwich Albion have hit the front.
Almost an hour gone. It's Gillingham 1, Walsall 0. Bradley Dack with a goal.
Deadlock broken. Middlesbrough 1, Swansea City 0. Dale Fry. Diving header from him.
Jamie Mullins, a lifeline for Wycombe. Wycombe 1, Stockport 2.
7 minutes to go. It's Norwich 1, Millwall 2. Macaulay Langstaff has only been on the field a couple of minutes.
No sooner had Schmidt denied Brannigan at one end than Pompey take the lead at the other. Oxford 0, Portsmouth 1.
Winner here at Stoke, Mickey Gray.
94 minutes on the clock. Stoke City 2, Derby County 1. Divine Mupama.
Stoke are running right at Mickey Gray.
Yeah, Stoke City 3, Derby County 1, and it's sober Thomas.
When we say we're back, we're sober.
Yeah, what a weekend it was in the Championship. It is back, and the EFL League 1, League 2 started the weekend before, but we know what a competition and a tournament the Championship is. To guide us through all of that is talkSPORT's EFL commentator Jeff Peters. He joins us now. Jeff, good evening.
Good evening to you, boys. Just a quick question for you before we start.
Go on, matey.
Who made their first appearance in the Championship this weekend since 2006?
I mean, give us a clue.
He's played for Inter Milan.
Mm-hmm.
He's played his last game in the Championship in 2006 was for Watford.
Swansea.
He's also played for Aston Villa.
Oh, and Zonzi for Stoke. No.
And Manchester United.
Oh, no.
Go on.
And he's now at Ipswich. Ashley Young.
Ashley Young.
Yeah, Young.
First appearance in the
Yes, he did. Do you know what? Honestly, his face, he looks still about 23. Honestly, he looks so young. He's looked what a career he's had, by the way. Yeah, brilliant stuff, Jeff. I want to talk about the games that we saw. We start with Friday night. It didn't disappoint. Ipswich with a late equaliser. Some controversy in that. Also, some controversy in the 12:30 game as Southampton took on Wrexham. There was a number of questionable decisions. I felt that Edwards should have been sent off for the challenge on Kiefer Moore. The penalty was given. No yellow card, let alone a red. I have to say, I thought the decision was right, but I felt there could have been a red. And in the end, Wrexham, they felt foul to that decision, in my opinion.
Yeah, I think we had a fantastic start to the Championship weekend. That game on Friday night perhaps wasn't, for the neutral, wasn't as exhilarating as we thought it might be, but I think it was still a very absorbing fixture. Not quite as many shots in the game as you kind of would want as a neutral, and just one shot on target for Ipswich, and that came in the 95th minute with that penalty from George Hurst. And of course there was some controversy over that with the handball that was given, and if you're a Birmingham fan you'll say, well, that is not a penalty, and if you're an Ipswich fan you'll probably say, well, if there was VAR they'd probably stick with the on-field decision, but if it wasn't given then VAR would probably not give it as a penalty. So it was a bit of a fine margin one. But yeah, I thought, I think that Birmingham and Ipswich will be two sides that will be there or thereabouts come the end of the season. There's so much positivity around Birmingham after getting a terrific year in League One last year. The ownership, the investment, not just in the playing side, but in the stadium and in the surrounding areas and everything that they want to do for the city. I think that the fans are buying into that. And then, of course, one of the early kickoffs on Saturday with Southampton coming from behind to beat Wrexham. It looked like the team that has had 3 successive promotions were going to get off to a winning start. They were leading right up towards the end of the game. Manning with the equaliser, and then Stevens in the 96th minute managed to win it for Southampton. That was, that for the neutral was terrific. 37 shots in the game. And Southampton dominated possession. We saw that, quite a bit when they were in the Championship previously. But from Wrexham's point of view, they will be frustrated. They've not taken something out of the game. But for Southampton, after the tough year that they had last year, they'll be absolutely thrilled with that.
Jeff, your boys took on Sheffield Wednesday. We already know what's going on with them and the trouble that they found themselves in. And it was at one stage people may have thought the game won't even be played. But you beat Sheffield Wednesday. What did you take off of their game?
I think it's hard for Leicester to take too much from that. Aside from they got the win and they're up and running, because the caveat of Sheffield Wednesday, with having so few fit senior players, not really having had much of a pre-season, so fitness was an issue, and obviously they went down to 10 men around about the 75th minute when Barry Bannon got a second yellow card. You can only beat what's put in front of you. So Leicester managed to get over the line. Two unexpected goal scorers in Vestergaard and Fast, two players who it's fair to say the fans haven't exactly warmed to, and obviously they needed that late goal from Wout Faes, and he cupped his ear and he pointed his finger to his ear as well, because are the fans booing or are they saying Wout when he comes on? I don't know, but either way he gave a little bit back to the fans. So I don't think you can read a massive amount from Leicester's point of view, but from Sheffield Wednesday's point of view, the commitment, the desire, the playing for the badge, playing for the shirt was just incredible. And their fans were amazing. They didn't come out until 5 minutes after kickoff making a protest against the terrible owner that they've got there, who they desperately want out of the club. Very sweet moment when they did come into their seats and the Leicester fans all rose and applauded. Some things are good solidarity. Some things are sort of bigger than tribal stuff. But what Wednesday did, the togetherness and the spirit from the players, from the backroom staff, and from the supporters, that I think will give, in their very difficult, dark times, that will give them a massive, massive lift.
Jeff, I need to talk about what happened against Sheffield Wednesday down at Bramall Lane. Gemma and I watched that game when we were doing the game day phone-in, and as good as Bristol City were, and they were out.
Sheffield United, you mean?
What did I say?
Sheffield Wednesday.
I do apologise. Sheffield United. Yes, Sheffield United. As good as Bristol City were, Sheffield United were absolutely appalling. And Ruben Sellers, after the game, he was almost scolding the players on the pitch, had them standing around, a little bit like Phil Brown did when he was at Hull when they played Manchester City all those years ago. Bristol City were excellent. Sheffield United were terrible. Something's got to change. Ruben Sellers, two managers, by the way, and Gerhard Struber has done, well, it looks like he's got a team there that can challenge.
Well, Bristol City were in the playoffs last year and they lost to Sheffield United in the playoffs 3-0 and 3-0. So what a turnaround from that. Listen, Sheffield United they did manage to have 20 shots in the game, but it just didn't feel quite right. So there's naturally concerns from their supporters, but you also have to say it is one game and there is 45 games to go. So if it carries on like that, then it's obviously going to be a major concern. But from Bristol City's point of view, Gerhard Struber's come in. Obviously, Manning's gone off to Norwich, and he's got a tune out of the players straight away, and they're up and running. Scott Twine was fantastic. He's a little bit of a cheat code at Championship level. He's such a, I think he's a really talented player. Can Bristol City actually challenge for automatic promotion this season? Again, you have to have the caveat of it's one game. They've started well. I mean, going back a few years ago, didn't Norwich get beaten 7-1 in the opening day of the season and then went on to get promotion? I think it was Paul Lambert who was in charge many, many years ago. So it's trying, you have your ups and your downs, whether you win or whether you lose, but it's trying to keep relatively measured and sort of say it is one game in. Let's see where we are, say, at the end of the month.
Yeah. What caught your eye in Leagues 1 and 2, Jeff?
6 teams with maximum points in League One, including Huddersfield and Luton, both tipped to do well and both yet to concede. Promoted Doncaster also in that group at the top. Donny and Barnsley, both with impressive comebacks and late winners on Saturday. David McGoldrick, now 37 on target for Barnsley. That's 20 consecutive seasons that he's scored a league goal and for 11 different sides. Bradford, who sneaked into the final promotion spot on the final minutes of the final day, they're up and running with 4 points. Among the sides yet to register a point are relegated Plymouth, Crewe, Fleetwood and Chesterfield. They're the 100% sides at the top of League Two. 4 points on the board for Tranmere and Newport, who both struggled last season. 2 draws from 2 for National League playoff winners Oldham. 5 clubs without a point. 2 relegated teams in that, Bristol Rovers and Crawley. The 3 others, Barrow, Cheltenham and National League winners Barnet, are still waiting for their first goal. And MK Dons, meanwhile, have registered a club record 6 successive clean sheets.
Jeff, who was the first EFL manager to lose his job? Because I believe Preston North End last year sacked a manager after 1 game.
Or did he leave? Did he quit? I'm not sure.
Quit, did he? Right.
Yeah,
he walked out. Okay. Right. Okay. I mean,
yeah, it was certain. This has happened before after 1 game, 2 games.
Well,
clubs have made decisions. It does feel a bit knee-jerk when it happens. Of course
it is. I know. But it won't, it's unprecedented. I just wonder, who is...
This is the modern world, isn't it, Jason?
I know. Who is the manager do you think could be under pressure? Is there one?
Football. That's a good way of sitting on the fence, isn't it?
No. Look, it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen at some stage, and just wonder how many games, and it will probably be single figures games that some manager loses his job. But that's it's the industry that we love. Jeff, you're a superstar as always, bud. Catch up soon.
Take care. Cheers, guys.
Take care.
Cheers,
Jeff
mate.
Peters there, talkSPORT's EFL commentator. And looking back over what was a brilliant championship weekend. And, of course, League One, League Two is up and running as well. There's more calls. I mean, we can take some more calls. 03717223344 if you want your say. Next up, though, we'll be speaking to Kevin Atchard, European football expert, on all the transfer tittle-tattle. You are listening to the Sports Bar here on talkSPORT, talkSPORT Bet. Download the new talkSPORT betting app today. 18+. BeGambleAware.org. Good evening, thanks to the company. You are listening to Record Breaking Sports while here on talkSPORT. Still to come, they're going through the Ralph Ellis pages that you'll be waking up to tomorrow morning with your cornflakes. And we'll have a little bit of fun with Midnight Triv. It's a part of the show where we need your help. Straight after midnight, some Triv. It'll be sport, a bit of general knowledge. It's a little bit of fun. 03717223344. First off, though, let's have a look at the latest transfers with talkSPORT Bet.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus, gambleaware.org.
And to guide us through all of the transfer tittle-tattle, Kevin Atchard joins us now. Kev, good evening, sir.
How are we, chaps? We well?
Good, thank you, Kev.
There's the old catchphrase. He's going very well. Kev, listen, thanks for your company, matey. You want to start with talking about Donnarumma, and this has been knocking around for quite some time. The transfer window is about 20 days till it closes. No one's made a serious attempt or bid yet, or have they?
Well, I think they will now, because the thing that's really crystallised this situation is that PSG have signed Lucas Chevalier from Lille, and he is going to be their new number one because Donnarumma has been dropped from the Super Cup squad to face Tottenham on Wednesday. And it's quite brutal when you think about it, because Donnarumma had such an incredible run in the knockout phase of the Champions League. He did as much as anyone, really, to deliver that first ever European crown to Paris. And yet, just a few weeks on from that, he's been told he's no longer going to be involved. And I think what it shows you is how single-minded Luis Enrique is. He's made a decision that Chevalier is the better bet long-term. Donnarumma was always vulnerable, having not agreed a new contract with the club. He's only got a year left on his deal. And it looks as though he'll be heading elsewhere. And the indications seem to be that it could be a Premier League club that takes him.
Well, I literally took the words out of my mouth. I was going to ask you, is it going to be the Premier League? Do we know exactly who, or was it just rumours at the moment?
Well, he's been linked with Chelsea for a long time. And obviously, Robert Sanchez had a decent Club World Cup. But there's been talk of them trying to get an upgrade there. They were in talks with Milan at one stage about Mike Maignan, but they weren't able to push that one through. And so they seem to be at least in the market for an opportunity when it comes to a goalkeeper, although they do have a lot of faith in Mike Penders in the long term. He's gone out on loan to Strasbourg. Manchester United, there's been a lot of talk about Andre Onana. Is he going to be the long-term number one for them, or do they want a change? I think the perspective I would give with Donnarumma is that if you actually go back a few months and you go back to the time when PSG was struggling in the Champions League, the picture wasn't so positive for them or him. There was talk about him making errors. There was talk about, was he good enough with the ball at his feet? And it's only because he's had such a phenomenal run of games since then, making breathtaking save after breathtaking save, that all of that's gone away. But he's not suddenly brilliant with the ball at his feet. He's not suddenly amazing at set plays. So, you know, there's a little bit of perspective there. But I think even some of the PSG players have been taken by surprise by just how swift and brutal this has been.
So at Bournemouth, they've sold a lot of their defenders. Kirk has gone, Haaaaas, looks like Zabani's going as well. He's having a medical in Paris, £57 million move. It's been rumbling on for a while. This looks very close.
Yeah, it's going to happen. And I think it's a really smart move by them, because what they wanted was quality, cover and competition for Marquinhos and for William Pacho. Because if you look at what happened in the Club World Cup final, they didn't have Pacho. Luca Hernandez was out. Lucas Beraldo, I think, is not quite up to it in terms of being that kind of physical defender they need. And so Zabani, I think, will do a great job. And they've chased him for most of the summer, really. And you have to give a huge amount of credit to Bournemouth because, as you say, they've sold one defender for big money to Liverpool, one to Real Madrid, who I believe could be a Real Madrid player for the next 10, 12 years, in Dean Howson. And now they've sold one to PSG, the European champions. That's a hell of a recruitment drive.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they could be struggling next season, losing.
Yes, that's the flip side, right?
Yeah.
It's one thing congratulating on their recruitment and selling, but, you know,
how do you sustain losing those players in the Premier League?
There's the challenge, right?
Sticking with Bournemouth, seem to find a replacement for Zabiani after reaching an agreement to sign centre-back Bafodi Dekait from Lille. What can you tell us about him?
Yeah, so I think, again, this is where that recruitment hits the next wave, right? Now, I think you're right. It's always difficult because you can't necessarily replace players like for like immediately. But I really like Diakite. He's somebody that played a big role for Lille in the season just gone. Of course, they beat Atletico Madrid and they beat Real Madrid in the league phase of the Champions League, and they qualified for the knockout rounds. And he's not the biggest, he's not the strongest, but he's a real athlete. He's got great spring in the air, and I think he's somebody that has developed really nicely at Lille over the past couple of years. So I think there's somebody there who could certainly deal with the physicality of the Premier League, and I think Bournemouth have got a good one there.
What's this news? The Spanish Federation have approved plans for Villarreal to take on Barcelona in Miami.
Yeah, I think this has been coming for a while. So what the difference here is that this was always a no-go. They'd explored it. They'd looked at it a few years ago. They'd looked at it again recently. But it was always seen as a no-go because FIFA had this rule whereby you couldn't play a domestic league game. That's an important distinction, actually. Right. Domestic league game outside of your territory. But they have withdrawn that because there was a threat that they were going to be sued by companies that want to get this kind of game on, not only in the States, but around the world. And La Liga have given their blessing to the game going ahead. So it's now about whether UEFA and FIFA will give their blessing as well and for the game to go ahead. I hate the idea. I hope it fails. I hope it doesn't take off and get replicated in other leagues. But I have a horrible feeling that this is it now, and this is the thin end of the wedge, and I don't really understand what we're doing. I know there have been Super Coppa games and one-off cup games here and there that have gone abroad, but when you're talking about league games and you're saying to fans who go every 2 weeks, "Soz, we're off to Miami," what is this?
Yeah, we see it with the NFL as well, don't we? When the
yeah, we do.
Football, they come over and play at the Tottenham Stadium.
Yeah, and you know that. I just think what we're getting away from, and this might be me being far too romantic and naive about it. I just think we've got so far away from this idea of a community hubs and kind of, you know, hardcore match-going fans that put so much into it. And I'm not saying that there's not a role and there's not a place for fans who get up at 3 a.m. and whatever to watch games and are very dedicated in their own way. Fine, I get that. But I just feel like the thing is fraying over time. And I just don't agree with it. But it looks as though, it doesn't really matter what I think, but it looks as though we are heading towards at least this happening on a kind of occasional basis.
Because it's going to benefit one team. Just say Barcelona play Villarreal at their stadium, and then the second game is going to be in their Miami. So that takes
it's a huge issue.
It takes the home advantage away from Villarreal.
Exactly that. So because not only are you doing that, right? So trip to the Ceramica is never easy. So you're taking away Villarreal's home advantage, because how many Villarreal fans do you think are going to turn up in Miami?
Yeah.
Where Lionel Messi's playing? It's going to be a ton of Barca fans, right? So it's effectively going to be a home game for Barca twice.
Yeah.
And Real Madrid, they're going to have to go to Villarreal. Atletico Madrid, they're going to have to go to Villarreal. So how is this competitive balance? How is this fair?
Yeah, I don't think so.
No, well, morally, that conversation piece will obviously take place. But this is the 39th game. That wasn't, what was that, 20? Yeah. How many years ago was that? 20 years ago that conversation started? It's a long time ago. Who knows? That conversation may well rear its ugly head. I just want to talk about Newcastle United, the closing of the sign of AC Milan defender Malik Thouar. What can you tell us about that? This broke yesterday, I seem to remember. And it looks as it's very, very close.
Yeah, I think it's positive. Malik Thiaw's a really interesting one, actually, because he came through at Schalke very young, very raw, made some mistakes in a poor team. But what I admire is that he got that move. He's gone to Milan, and he's done pretty well in a team that, you know, has been a bit up and down itself, really. He's good on the ball, which I think is important. He can rattle those passes out of the defensive line. He can bring it out. And I think he really has come on leaps and bounds. So in what's been a really miserable summer for Newcastle so far, I actually think this is a positive step.
Kev, you're a superstar. Thanks very much, bud. Catch up soon.
Cheers, chaps.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, matey. There's Kevin Etchard there, going through all the transfer tittle-tatters latest with talkSPORT Bet. Terms and conditions apply. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Bring it on with talkSPORT Bet. Download the app or visit talksportbet.com for all the latest odds and offers. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org.
Good evening. Record-breaking sports bar, Pennant and Cundy taking up to 1 a.m. still. To come after the back pages, we will be having a little bit of fun with the midnight triv. You can't do it without you pick up the phone and get involved. 0371722 3344. First off, though, it's now time for the round for this back pages. And guiding us through all of those back pages you'll be waking up to tomorrow morning, Jack Cunningham from talksport.com. Jack, good evening, sir.
Evening, Jason. How you doing, mate? Good.
Very well indeed. Let's kick off with the Jack Grealish. That looks as if it's almost certainly going to happen. Grealish had to reclaim his England place, says the Times. Jack Grealish pushed for a loan move to Everton from Manchester City and believes that this is going to revive his career. Of course, it is a big, big season because there's the World Cup at the end of it.
Yeah, of course. So Jack Grealish has decided that he is going to spend this season on loan at Everton. He is taking what the Daily Mail describe as huge financial sacrifices. We don't actually know how much he has sacrificed of his wage, but he was on £300,000 a week at Manchester City, but it looks like he's going to slash that a bit like sort of Rashford did to go to Barcelona. Another thing for Grealish is that he's got a young family and he's not have to leave the Northwest. He gets to stay in the Northwest because obviously lived Liverpool and Manchester aren't too far apart. I think it looks like there's a hefty loan fee involved as well. Not sure exactly how much, but I think I saw something like it's over £10 million at least.
Right.
So City, raking in quite a bit of money there. And then at the end of it, there's an option to buy for £50 million,
right.
which of course would then be Everton's record transfer. I think from Grealish's point of view, this is a huge opportunity for him. I think working under David Moyes, maybe some people would think, is that the right manager? But I look at what Moyes did for Lingard when he went to West Ham, and he basically gave him a free role in the team, and Lingard was absolutely amazing for West Ham and fired them into the Europa League. Mm-hmm. And I kind of see Grealish hopefully being given that sort of similar role. If he's kind of held down tactically in the sense of how he was at Manchester City, I feel like that'd be really disappointing. What Grealish was at Aston Villa was such a free individual spirit. He was amazing to watch as like a neutral or as a football fan. We want to see these entertainers, these mavericks on the ball who can create something out of nothing. And that's what Grealish can do and did do for a long time at Aston Villa. Felt like at Manchester City that wasn't the case at all. I think it was sort of almost coached out of him in so many ways. Yes, he's got a lot of trophies from it, but ultimately everyone looks at Grealish now and thinks, that's not the player that we knew and loved. So I'm really hoping that this move plays out for him. Obviously with the England stuff, look, this is his best chance of getting back in the England team. If he can have a really good season for Everton, get back to those levels that he was at, then there's got to be a space for him on the plane going to America next year, because England don't really have another sort of player like him when he's at his best.
We've got Benjamin Sesko. We're sending shots back of the sun. Ready, aim, fire. Sesko warned Prem rivals it is only a matter of time before he fires Manchester United back to the top.
Yeah, so
easy there, Sesko. Easy. Sir.
Well, exactly, Jermaine. I mean, Sesko's been speaking about it. There is a lot of work to be done for Manchester United. I mean, if you look at what Sesko's saying here, he's basically saying that he thinks that the team is in the position to, eventually get back to the top. He believes that with the signings they've made and the squad that they have currently, he's going to be a part of Manchester United becoming a force again in English football. I mean, I would say, looking at it, there's a long way to go for that. I mean, you look at where they finished last season, they were 15th. Yes, they've made some really good signings this summer in terms of totally, changing the front three. The front three between them scored more goals than Manchester United managed across the whole season in the Premier League. So, there's clearly going to be a more of attacking threat. However, there's still problems with the goalkeeper. There's still problems in midfield. I'm not really convinced by a lot of their defenders. And I think a lot of people, rightly so as well, not convinced by Amorim yet. There's still a lot of question marks over Amorim. Like, he had quite a lot of time, to be fair, from Ten Hag. And we didn't see basically any improvement from anyone. And we got a clear style of play. He obviously wants to play the 3-4-3, but it felt like he was just putting square pegs in round holes because he didn't have the team to do it, but he just kept doing it anyway. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Amorim. There's a reason that a lot of bookies have him as one of the favourites to be sacked first, because now he has no excuses whatsoever. Manchester United have backed him to the tune of £200 million so far. They're talking to try and get Carlos Believer, so that'd be like £300 million, and that's without selling anyone yet. And the Garnacho's still there, Antony's still there, Rashford's left on loan, but those players who they want to sell are still there. Højlund's going to leave, by looks of it, it's going to be on loan. So again, there's immediately a lot of pressure on Amorim, I think. And as much as Sesko, Cundy and Mbeumo, I'm sure, will do well, it might be a case of they do well for the next manager rather than Amorim, because it is really all on him now.
Crystal Palace all over the back pages, not for a good reason as well. Congratulations, they won the Community Shield yesterday. But today, earlier, Palace lose appeal over demotion, says the Daily Telegraph. Palace legal battle ends in defeat, says the Times. And the Sun have gone with Palace's anger at Cass. Palace's attempt to overturn UEFA's decision to remove them from the Europa League has failed, and they will be playing in the Conference League next season.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose we'll go from it from the positive point of view. Initially, look, Palace are going to play in European football, competitive European football for the first time in their history. And I've saw, a lot of fans talking about that today. So they're trying to look at that. And, that's a great moment for the club. But let's be absolutely fair. It should have been the Europa League that they were playing in. And the reason that it's been fouled against them is John Textor's fault. So Kaz's decision came back and they ruled in favour of UEFA in the sense of that John Textor, at the time of the deadline, was still a decisive influence at both Lyon and Palace. And under UEFA rules, you can't have a person with a decisive influence owning two clubs in the same competition. So despite the fact he sold his shares now, when he's not involved anymore, the deadline was the 1st of March. Obviously, at that point, it's difficult to think he would have thought Crystal Palace were going to win the Europa League, to be fair. I mean, they finished 12th in the league. So it's a bit difficult. He's obviously made a bad decision, but equally, you know, I don't think he ever thought Palace were going to be in this position. I think with Nottingham Forest it's a bit different because they were, 3rd or 4th for most of the season. So they probably thought they were going to get some form of European football if in some way. So that's why Marinakis made that decision to make himself not a decisive owner and put his shares into like a holding company for a bit. But Textor didn't do it, and now Palace have to pick up the pieces. Phil, the timing of it's horrible. I mean, yesterday, they won the Community Shield. Brilliant performance, because it's been a pretty rough summer for Palace in the terms they've only signed 2 players, and it's all been about who's leaving. You know, Eza, Gehi, but they've all stayed so far. Then they win the Community Shield yesterday, and then today they find out they're in the Europa Conference League. Of course, they will be the immediate favourites to win that competition. The only problem is, you're looking at it, they've got a brilliant first 11, really, really good first 11. You know, went toe-to-toe with Liverpool yesterday. Really strong performance. But then after that, you know, the squad's looking a bit thin. And as I said, we've still got doubts of if Eza or Gehi are going to be there. You know, Gehi especially, 1 year left in his contract. Steve Parish said yesterday, can I let a player like that go for nothing? You know, probably not. So then you got the situation where Liverpool, you know, going to probably have all the cards and are probably going to come near the end of the window with maybe a lowish bid. And, you know, Palace might have to go for it because otherwise they might lose Gehi.
Yep, it's a tough decision, tough place they find themselves in, that's for sure. Jack, what else is making noise on the talkSPORT website?
Yeah, so Dominic Calvert-Lewin has decided to sack his agent. Of course, we all know Calvert-Lewin is now a free transfer, leaving Everton. 71 goals in about 270 games, I think, for Everton it was in the end. He's held talks with Manchester United, Newcastle United and Leeds. As of yet, none of those clubs have decided to sign him. I think if I was looking at it from Manchester, they're probably not going to sign him now. Newcastle, I would think only way Newcastle will go for it is if maybe they don't get Visser. So then maybe Calvert-Lewin comes in, and then Leeds, that one would make sense. He's also apparently already turned down and moved to Sunderland, so he's obviously just sitting around and waiting to see who we can get. I mean, it's going to be, Calvert-Lewin maybe has to, I think I saw something that he was demanding 100 grand a week or over 100 grand a week. Maybe he's going to have to lower those wage demands and maybe appreciate that he's not the player he once was, and if he is going to join a club, you know, he might be coming in as a second striker rather than a starting striker. But either way, he sacked his agent, try and get a new deal.
Jack, you're a superstar. Catch up tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Later, yeah.
Cheers, bud. Jack Cunningham there. Going through the Rad for this back pages. Next up, though, it's a little bit of fun. Myself and Jam need your help. It's the midnight triv. It's over to you guys. 03717 223344. Let's go with some general knowledge, some sport questions. Dale, the producer, will come in and set them to us, but we need your help. No help. Myself and Jammer sit here dumbfounded. 03717 223344.